expos are usually all about cars. I mean, you see a slew of car launches, and when you compare it to the bikes launch, well, the numbers are always measly or negligible. But I have to say, 2012 has been a bit different. You know why? Because if there was a Mini or an M5 being launched, the cult classics like a Triumph or a Vespa cruised in too. Unlike the older expos where all the searing two-wheel metal and the liter-plus horsepower were for display only, this time around a lot of bikes were or will be very soon on sale. But for us, quite honestly, the showstopper of the entire bike marquees was the arrival of the classic British rude boy motorcycles, Triumph. Now, one news that's going to plaster a smile on every biker's face is the arrival of Triumph to India. Now, they've got 7 models, but the best bit is that they've got a bike for every taste and every pocket. For example, check the modern classic Bonneville, my favorite, and it costs only 5,50,000 rupees. The pricing, no doubt, is pretty aggressive. And that isn't all. The Bonnie Bonneville might be the lowest costing Triumph, but if classic motorcycle lines aren't really floating your boat, you got 6 more models to choose from all the prominent families. And so you got the Street Triple at 5.75 lakhs, the Speed Triple at 8 lakhs, the Daytona 675 at 7 lakhs, the iconic Tiger 800 XC at 11.4 lakhs, the Storm at 17 lakhs, and the biggest daddy of them all, the 2300cc Rocket 3 at a not very modest 22 lakh rupees. And now for some better news. Triumph is looking to assemble these motorcycles in India, which means that in time the prices should reduce as more of these beauties are assembled locally. Triumph weren't the only one spreading the CKD love. American motorcycle legend Harley Davidson had some great news to spread as well. Now, no new launches from the Harley Davidson stable, but a beautiful bit of news. 2 motorcycles have joined the CKD lineup, that is, the Super Glide Custom and the Street Bob. So as a result, these bikes have gotten a whole lot cheaper. So for the Super Glide Custom, you'll only have to shell out 11,50,000 rupees. And for Street Bob, which is one of my favorites for its, the old school appeal, 9,95,000 rupees. Now, if you ask me, 1600cc of brute power under 10 lakh rupees, that is quite a steal. Triumph and Harley might have been the big news at the Expo, but not too far away, another announcement was being made that created much excitement. Royal Enfield had something new to show off, and as the covers came off, what we heard was applause. Now, this is the all-new Thunderbird 500. Just in case if you're wondering, the power plant, well, it's the same that does the duty on a classic 500. The output is a standard 27 bhp. As for the changes, well, it's got a removable fill-in seat, it's got LED tail lamps, it's got a big fat 20-litre tank, and obviously the black matte finish paint job that makes it look meaner and bad and brash. As for the launch, well, it's touted to be launching sometime around May or mid this year. Again, sadly, the T-Bird was only an announcement, so anxious thumpers and bulleteers are going to have to wait till mid-year, which is when this bike will be properly launched. Another big motorcycle launch we saw at the Expo was actually more of a re-entry. After a 10-year hiatus from India, Vespa is coming back, but gone is the proletarian 4-gear scooter of the past, and in comes a set of wheels that's young, funky and stylish. The company pulled the dust covers off the Vespa range that's coming soon to India. Specific models haven't been announced, but we expect the LX 125 and 150 to play an integral role.
Now here at the Expo, serious business is conducted, but every once in a while you do come across a car that will make your jaw slack and your pants tighten. We are of course talking about the supercars like this one, the SLS AMG. Here in no particular order are our hottest cars at the Expo. The Gullwings might have been a showstopper, but then there are some people who still like to drive with the wind in their hair. Enter the uber sexy SLS AMG Roadster, an awesome combination of topless showboating, outstanding drive dynamics and super styling. Aside from the changes in the roofline, not much else has. You've still got the fire-breathing AMG 6.3-litre V8 front mid-engine putting out 570 bhp and 650 Nm of torque. If the older SLS had the gull wings, the new soft top shifts in just 11 seconds and can be operated on the move. Of course, such exquisiteness doesn't come cheap. Should you wish to buy one, you're going to need a cool 3 crores, ex-showroom Delhi. Sweet dreams are made of these. Another one of those sweet dreams we were talking about earlier was the devilishly gorgeous Corvette Stingray, up for display at the GM stall. If you're thinking that you've seen this one before, you're right, you have. This concept played the character of Sideswipe in the Transformers films, and here it is on the move in selected shots from the same movie. But transforming fictional robot aside, the Corvette comes with a clamshell hood, scissor-style doors and a high-performance hybrid drive. The Stingray might be a concept, but according to rumors we found on the internet, might be the basis for the upcoming Corvette C7. Well, for us it's wait and watch and drool. For most people at the Nissan stall, the big draw was the clunky MPV called the Evalia, but lurking near the entrance was one of the hottest road cars on the planet, the Nissan GTR. Influenced by the Gundam robots from Japanese pop culture, a lot of people call the GTR the poor man's supercar because it doesn't cost as much as an Italian exotic, but the numbers speak for themselves. Under the hood sits a relatively small 3.8-litre V6 with twin turbos, putting out an astounding 550 brake horsepower, a top speed of 313 km per hour and a 0 to 100 time of less than 4 seconds. It sounds pretty awesome, doesn't it? That's because it is. And finally, a car that was a launch while at the same time one of the most understated hot cars at the Expo this year, the 2012 BMW M5, one of the fastest production four-door sedans in the world. Again, the sober 5 Series exterior hides the ferocity you find under the hood. The only BMW launch at the Expo this year was the M5, imported to India as a CBU. And here are the specs. Push the throttle and what responds is a 4.4-litre twin turbocharged V8 engine, putting out a massive 560 brake horsepower. Hit the gas hard and the M5 leaps from 0 to 100 in 4.4 seconds, goes on further to 200 in 13 seconds and tops out at 250 only because of a silly limiter. Now, since the M5 has been launched in India, this dream on wheels does come with a price, 95.9 lakh rupees, and that's ex-showroom. Read them and weep.
And that was our show for this week. How we've managed to fit the entire Expo into 22 minutes, I do not know. But if you do visit Pragati Maidan in the next couple of days, you'll agree that we've given you only the best. Now, if you do want to catch the entire episode online, log in at timesnow.tv, or you could join the conversation at facebook.com/timesdrive. Till next week then, ciao.